Hello you guys, this is Kim and bienvenidos to your August 2023 reading, where you will be getting an overview of the month to find out what it is that you can look forward to and or expect. This reading will consist of 5 parts. In part 1, I will be sharing with you what I intuitively picked up on and or sensed when tapping into this group's energy. In part 2, I will be working with homemade divination dice to get a sneak peek into any significant events that will be occurring this month. In part 3, I will be working with oracle cards to get an overview of the month, as well as find out what the lessons and main themes of this month will be. In part 4, I will be working with El Tarot to find out what is it that Spirit wants you to look forward to and or out for this month. In part 5, I will be offering space for you to receive a direct message from any being of light that you wish to hear from at this moment, and or receive a direct answer or guidance on any inquiry that you may currently have. Remember that the future is not set in stone. Energy is always changing and transforming in accordance to our actions, choices, and mindset. Therefore, how we choose to respond to situations that are out of our control also have a great impact on our future and how we experience the present moment. I, as the reader, am not in control of your destiny. You, as the creator and leader of your own life, are. So if there is anything in this reading that you hear or see that you do not like, you are most likely being let know about it because you do have the influence to transform and transmute the current energy to one that feels more in alignment with you. With that being said, let us now take a closer look at the options for this month's reading. For group 1, we have a magazine cutout of someone riding a bicycle. For group 2, we have a combination of a printed message with the full moon sticker. And for group 3, we have a mini postcard. In total, we have 3 groups to choose from. So as always, take as much time as you need to cast your gaze upon the options, meditate on them in order to see which one you are drawn to or calls out to you. Because the one that you are drawn to will be the reading for you. But once you have chosen, please head on over to the description box as well as the comment section down below where the timestamp for each group is provided so that you may skip right on over to your reading. Okay, but now that you have chosen, let's go right into your messages. Let's go! Hello you guys who chose group 1, the magazine cutout. Bienvenidos to your reading. So before I get started with the divination tools, I would like to share with you what I intuitively picked up on when connecting with the energy of your group. If you're not interested in intuitive messages, you can definitely skip ahead to where I do start working with the divination tools. I will provide a timestamp for that in the description as well as the comment section down below. But these intuitive messages are part of the reading. So they might be relevant and or important. Yeah, just a heads up. Yeah, but there were quite a few messages that came to mind when tapping into this group's energy, which were high hopes, things will get resolved, finding a way out of a difficult and or messy situation. And the last message that came through was a bit long. I actually ended up writing it down because it did come through as I was jotting down some notes about everything I was picking up on whilst connecting with this group's energy. So it did feel pretty much like a channeled message. And it goes, don't lose faith, keep going. I know it's tough, but you'll make it through. It'll be all right. And the image that came to mind when channeling this message could very well have been inspired by the image that you guys were called to. Because I did see in my mind's eye someone riding a bicycle in the rain. But as they kept riding and moving forward, they transitioned from a rainy, gloomy weather into a sunnier, warmer environment and or weather. So It's not so much that it had stopped raining and the sun came out. It's more like it was raining in one area and it wasn't raining in the other. So maybe you guys have experienced this before, where it's raining where you're standing and then you take a few steps forward and it isn't raining anymore. But if you take a few steps back to where you were, you'll be caught up in the rain again. And it's because there's this one cloud that is pouring down on one specific spot. So if you're caught up in that spot, you will be caught up in the rain. But if you get out of it, there will be no more rain. Yeah, so that's what I was seeing in my mind's eye. The person riding the bicycle got out of the rain by simply riding and moving forward. So I feel that this is indicating that if you are currently going through a difficult or tough time, or things for you aren't looking so great, or you yourself might be feeling a bit under the weather, or if it happens to be that at the start of the month or sometime during the month of August, you are experiencing something along these lines, then this is a heads up and a reassurance from Spirit that you won't be in this energy or situation for long. And to not get caught up in it, by assuming that it is going to be an everlasting thing, or that things aren't going to get better, or that there isn't a silver lining. Because this isn't true. There is a way out of this situation, which could very well be why the message, finding a way out of a difficult or messy situation, came through. Because there is a way out of this. All that is needed is to push through it, or just keep moving forward in the knowing that you will get to a much, much better place. You will get out of this rain or this storm. Now, I also did get the feeling that something will be getting resolved. And it's like you don't have to do much about it, because this thing, whatever the problem is, will basically solve itself on its own. Or it could be that other people might take care of it. Yeah, so if you find yourself concerned about an issue or worried about finding the solution to a problem that arises, I feel like you won't be worrying for long, because next thing you know, this thing would have been resolved. It's like, oh, I just started worrying about this 5 minutes ago and it's already solved. Someone already found a solution to it. Oh, okay, great, that's good. Yeah, so maybe there will be something that arises in the month of August that you might think and or feel is a big deal, or it might appear to be like a big deal, but then it ends up being not such a big deal. Yeah, and with the message High Hopes, I did recall that this is the title of a song, of a very popular mainstream song by Panic at the Disco. So that song could be of significance. And if you haven't heard this song already, I do recommend for you to look it up, listen to it, maybe read through the lyrics, because there could be a message there for you. It's a very inspiring and encouraging song. So again, if you are going through a difficult time, this could be your spirit guides or even your future self coming through to reassure you, to let you know, keep your head up high, don't lose faith, because things will get better, or you are heading in the right direction. Keep moving forward, don't give up. But actually, when High Hopes came to mind, I thought of another song, a less maybe popular or known song, which is by Codaline. So yeah, the same thing. If you haven't heard this song, I do recommend looking it up, listening to it, or reading through the lyrics, because again, there could be a message there for you guys. Or the songs themselves could maybe be a sign or a confirmation for some of you guys. But I will link these two songs in the description box in case you do want to take a listen to them or look more into them. Yeah, but considering the phrase on its own, I feel like this month you yourself are going to feel very hopeful. There is this overall vibe of feeling like you are heading in the right direction, or you are entering and are transitioning into a new era, a new beginning. I'm almost picking up on a bit of an adrenaline and or anticipation. Yeah, so you could be intuitively sensing that major changes are about to occur or they are already unfolding. Yeah, because now I'm seeing a flower blossoming. So I do feel like something beautiful is unfolding for you guys, and actually I feel like it's more than one thing. I'm also sensing and or picking up on this energy of maturation, maturity. It kind of feels like when you level up in a video game enough where you can change your avatar or add attributes to it. I actually don't know much about video games, but it does kind of give me this feeling of leveling up, like having learned the lessons, having passed successfully a level or chapter of your life, and now you're moving up to the next level. It's like graduating from high school and moving on to college or university, or getting your master's and moving on to your doctorates. Yeah, so maybe you guys are achieving something great in the month of August, or you are reaching some kind of milestone, like getting certified for something or moving on to the next stage of your career or your profession. But for the majority of you, I feel like this is more on an energy level. Like you just sense that you are about to transition into a new era of your life. Yeah, but because you guys were called to the image of a person riding a bicycle, you could be riding a bicycle a lot throughout the month of August, or you could be finding that this is your favorite physical activity or your favorite pastime. Like when you ride a bicycle, it helps clear your mind, or it helps you feel a lot grounded, or it helps to release any tension. And for those of you who don't know how to ride a bike, it could be that you'll be learning how to in the month of August, or if you don't own a bike and you have been wanting a bike, you could be acquiring one in the month of August. Either you'll be purchasing it, or someone will be gifting it to you, or it could even be that you will be winning it, maybe at a raffle or something like that. Okay, but now I'm going to move into the Divination Tools. Also, bicycles could be an important sign for some of you guys. But before I pull out the cards, I would like to pull out some of these homemade divination dice to, kind of find out what you can expect or look forward to in the month of August. Get an idea of some of the events that will be occurring this month. Okay, so let's see. We have a butterfly. We have the crown. And we have the black spider. I feel like, okay, so all those wanted to come out. So we have a black cat. Aww, the couple. And we also have the open road. So with the spider here, when I drew it, what I had in mind was this indicating a visit. So someone could be dropping by, visiting you in the month of August. And if that does happen to be the case, I do feel like this will be a short visit. But you know what? With the black cat being here, I do feel like this is more so talking about receiving a visit from someone on the other side. So this could be a loved one who has passed on, whether it's a person or an animal, or it could be an ancestor, a deity, and or a spirit guide. Yeah, so they could be visiting you through a dream. That's kind of what I'm sensing for the majority of you guys, that you might be having a visitation dream, but they could also be visiting you through maybe a daydream, a vision that you might be having whilst meditating, or getting lost in a daydream, or zoning out. But you could also be having some kind of experience that will leave you feeling like you were visited by someone on the other side. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing with these two. But because we also have the butterfly here, I feel like in the month of August, you are going to be experiencing a lot of synchronicities, or you're just going to be seeing a lot of signs, especially like through animals or the animal realm. So if you have associated certain meanings to certain animals or insects, then pay attention to those, because, for example, if you're wondering about something or you're worried about something and then you see a butterfly and you know that butterflies mean good things coming or you'll be alright, there's nothing to worry about, then you know that what you're worrying about isn't something to really concern yourself about, because there is a solution to it, or things will get resolved. Yeah, so pay attention to animals and or insects, because they will be serving as messengers for you in the month of August. Butterflies also make me think of transformation, and what just came to mind when I mentioned butterflies was spring. And spring is all about rebirth and renewal. And there was a message of you transitioning or entering a new era. So yeah, I feel like you guys have already gone through a major transformation. And what you are about to experience is the after effects of that transformation. Like, you'll get to test your new wings as the fully developed butterfly that you are. Yeah, and I did mention how I felt like you guys will be moving on to the next level, and thinking of butterflies and how they fly, it's like you're reaching new heights. And with the crown here, yeah, I do feel like you guys are reaching some kind of milestone in the month of August, or you're just feeling really good about yourself. The feeling I got with the crown is a feeling victorious, feeling like you are on the right track, feeling like you are making beautiful progress, feeling like you are on a roll. Like, even if there are down days, even if you do feel under the weather on some days, that still doesn't take away from the fact that you are on the right track and that you are making beautiful progress. Also, what I'm getting with the crown is you receiving praise, or you being acknowledged for your skills, your effort, your knowledge about something, your work ethic, maybe your dedication, your work in general. Some of you could even be given an important role in the month of August, like a leadership role, or could be given the role of a supervisor, or being given some kind of authority over something, or maybe over someone or a group of people, like managing a team, or overseeing a project. But I feel like with this new position or this new level of authority, even though it comes with some responsibility, I do feel like you also obtain some freedom. So it could be like the freedom to choose your working hours, or the freedom to choose what you want to work on, or who you want to work with, or how you want to work, etc. Or it could even be that with this new level of position or role, certain responsibilities are taken off your plate. You know, they're given to someone else, and that frees up time for you, or that inspires that sense of freedom, like, oh, I'm freed from this responsibility or from this task that I really didn't like so much or was a burden to me. Yeah, so I do see that being the case for a lot of you guys. And with this couple here, yeah, if you are currently in a relationship, I do see you spending a lot of time with your significant other, or just feeling closer to your significant other. I'm getting such a chummy and cozy vibe from this image or this little doodle. So what I'm getting is that you are going to be very close with your significant other, almost like best friends. So if you are already each other's best friends, this will continue in the month of August. But I'm getting this feeling of being joined at the hip with someone. It might not necessarily be that you are with them physically all the time, but it's like your energies are quite close, or you're constantly thinking of one another, but it doesn't feel obsessive or clingy. It just feels supportive rather than clingy. So it could also be that you and your significant other will be sharing some good news with each other in the month of August. Like, good things are happening for you and good things are happening for your significant other, and it's like you're celebrating each other's accomplishments, or you are supporting one another as you are, moving along in your individual journeys. Yeah, so even though you have like your own thing going on, you still find time to talk about what is going in each other's lives and, you know, hear each other out and be supportive of one another. And if you are not currently in a romantic relationship, this could be referring to like a platonic relationship, a friend, a family member that you're quite close to that feels like a best friend to you. And with the open road, with the bicycle being here, a lot of you could be spending quite a bit of time riding your bicycle. Some of you could even be like practicing or preparing for a cycling marathon, or it could just be you riding your bicycle for fun as a way to clear your headspace. Yeah, and if you're not into riding bicycles, but you do drive, this could be speaking about taking a lot of drives in the month of August. Especially in the afternoon is what I'm getting. Yeah, some of you might actually enjoy driving to no specific destination, just driving. Maybe that helps you clear your headspace, or that's when you get some alone time. But this also is indicating that the road ahead is open for you. You have a clear path, so there's no obstacles, there's nothing blocking you. Yeah, we kind of did get that message at the beginning, like if there is any problems or if there are any challenges or obstacles, to not worry about them so much because they will be cleared out. Most of them will get resolved or solved on its own. And I feel like this is also confirmation that, you know, if you are feeling under the weather or if things are looking a bit gloomy, you know, to keep moving forward, push through that energy, you know, feel through it if you feel like it's necessary. Like if you're feeling down or upset, you know, process those emotions. If you need to cry. If you need to sit with it for a while, then sit with it for a while, but don't soak in it for a long time. Don't invite more of it by finding more reasons why to stay in that kind of down, gloomy, heavy energy. So these are all the messages I am seeing for you guys with these dice. So now I'm going to move into the oracle cards to get an overview of the month, find out what the main themes, main lessons of this month will be. And actually, first I want to pull out cards from this deck. So we have, the 9th house with Sun and Sagittarius and the key term enthusiasm. Yeah, so that's pretty much the emotion or the energy I was picking up on when connecting with this group. So you might find yourself feeling pretty enthusiastic in the month of August. It could be for a reason, you know, because you are getting good news, because burdens are being taken off your shoulder, or you don't have to deal with certain things anymore, or things are getting resolved pretty quickly, or because you do have someone to share your victories with or to talk to your problems about and feel supported, etc. But I do feel like this enthusiastic feeling is more coming randomly. It's like you might just wake up some days and just feel pretty pumped up, feel pretty happy, feel excited and enthusiastic about the day or about what is to come. And you might not really know why. You might not pinpoint where this energy is coming from. You just feel this way. And I see you allowing yourself to feel this way, like really soak in that kind of energy. Yeah, and with Apollo showing up here, I also see you feeling and looking or being pretty vibrant. But because we do have Sun in Sagittarius, some of you guys could be a Sagittarius Sun. And if so, you know, this is confirmation that this is definitely your group. But if not, someone who is a Sagittarius Sun could be playing a significant role in your life in the month of August. For some, it could very well be the significant other or this person you do have this platonic relationship with. And I did mention how you will be having a visitation dream, and we literally have like this imagery here that to me indicates dreaming or astral traveling or projecting. Yeah, so definitely pay close attention to your dreams in the month of August, because I feel like you're going to have very interesting and vivid dreams this month. And a lot of these dreams are going to be serving as guidance, or they could be coming with very important messages that may assist you, or that will assist you in your day-to-day, or will give you a heads up about what is unfolding and what is to come. But I do see you connecting with spirits and or beings of light from the other side in your dreams. Some of you could even be astral traveling or astral projecting quite a bit in the month of August. But let me pull out the rest of the cards. The ninth house speaks about higher learning, higher education, philosophy, studies, religion, foreign culture, overseas travel, as well as sports. Yeah, so in the month of August, you could be feeling quite energetic or inspired to engage in some physical activity or in some sport like cycling. Yeah, because we do have all this sun energy, you could be spending some time outside in the month of August. Or this could be advice or encouragement from your spirit guides to spend a little more time outside, you know? It doesn't have to be hours and hours, but it could be just a few minutes to get some natural vitamin D. I feel like you guys benefit from soaking up the sun's energy, you know, but just be careful not to have so much exposure to the sun, because words on the street that isn't super healthy or good for one, especially for one's skin. Yeah, okay, let's see. So do protect yourself if you're going to spend a lot of time out in the sun. But we also have compass with divine guidance, and we have sailboat with sail on. You're heading in the right direction. Yeah, so this is just further confirmation that you guys are definitely on the right path. You're heading in the right direction. I did mention how you yourself will be feeling that, and that's one of the reasons why you're feeling so enthused, so excited about what is to come or is unfolding. So you guys are already intuitively sensing this, and you might just know it by what is happening in your life, by the opportunities that are presenting themselves to you, by how things are unfolding. Yeah, and with divine guidance, I feel like this is just confirmation that you will definitely be receiving divine guidance in the month of August. You know, I did mention how you will be having a visitation dream, or you will be connecting with either your ancestors, loved ones who are on the other side, your spirit guides, deities, and we literally have a deity here in the enthusiasm card with Apollo. So maybe some of you guys are getting visited, or you are connecting with the god Apollo, or with any deity that is associated with the sun or divine masculine energy. Yeah, and because the sun is divine masculine energy or masculine energy, I do see you feeling quite motivated this month. It might not be throughout the entire month, because maybe that's a bit unrealistic. You know, it happens that there are some days that we don't feel as motivated or as energized, but overall, I do see you feeling quite energized. Yeah, quite motivated. It's almost like you're being infused with energy. And we have also two cards fell out with the Ace of Wands. Yeah, I was speaking about you being quite energized or infused with energy. And the Ace of Wands speaks of passion, new beginnings, new passionate beginnings. And the word that is coming to mind is assertiveness or assertion. And we also have the Three of Cups with the Sun, the number 1. Yeah, so we have a lot of ones here. Yeah, so definitely I see you guys entering a new beginning, or several new beginnings are commencing for you guys. And then we have more sun energy. So I do see you getting a lot of stuff done, or feeling like you are right on track. I do see you feeling, if not passionate, quite enthused about your work or what you're working on or what you're doing. I do see you feeling quite happy, quite joyful. Yeah, but I'm mostly sensing a lot of like hype, a lot of energy, adrenaline. And I did kind of sense that at the beginning. So I do feel like in the month of August, it is advised for you to engage in some kind of physical exercise and or activity, because it does feel like you guys will have, I keep repeating this, I'm sorry, but it does feel like you guys are going to have a lot of energy. And if you don't either channel and or release that energy in a healthy, productive way, it could end up backfiring. Yeah, because it could result in you having pent up energy, and then that might result in you feeling frustrated, irritable, you lashing out and or reacting quite quickly and recklessly. If you guys do have a creative outlet, I do feel like you are being advised to really engage in this creative outlet in the month of August. Yeah, don't let all this energy build up, and also take advantage of this, don't just let it sit there and simmer or boil up until it evaporates. Make use of it. It's there for you to make use of it. So channel it in your work, channel it in your creative projects, channel it to come up with creative ideas. Don't sit on this, because it's being given to you for a reason. Yeah, this could very well be like an opportunity, we do have the open road here, an opportunity to get things going, get a momentum going, to get stuff done or to catch up on things. Do the things you have in the past placed on hold because you just didn't have the motivation to do them. Yeah, this is like a little Kickstarter from the universe, their form of helping you by infusing you with this extra energy. So do make use of it in a productive, healthy, constructive way. In other words, don't be reckless with it. Yeah, with divine guidance here, just make sure that you are following your inner guidance, that you aren't doing anything that doesn't feel in alignment with you. But honestly, I feel like you guys are pretty solid. You're pretty grounded individuals. So I don't see that being much of a problem for you guys. It's more so with the crossroads here that you might have so much energy and excitement for different things that you might feel conflicted about where to direct your focus at, because there are so many things that you want to do. So don't feel in a rush, because Apollo is also the god of music. Maybe some of you guys are musicians, or you play an instrument, and you are singers, or you like to sing, or maybe you produce music, or you just like to learn more about music. I do see you investing more time in music or in your music, or practicing your musical skills or talents in the month of August. But because I did mention about how you might be feeling conflicted as to what to focus on, it could be that like you really want to start your cycling journey or ride your bicycle, but you also want to play your instrument, but you also want to take a nap, but maybe you also just want to chill outside. Yeah, and because there's so many things that you want to do, you might end up doing none of them because it's just too overwhelming to choose. So if you can, maybe assign one thing to each day, like on Mondays, I'll ride my bike. On Tuesdays, I'll play my instrument. But with all this energy of the number one represents leadership and assertiveness. So like I said, I do see you taking on a leadership role or being given some level of authority, be it at your workplace, be it at school, maybe in your community. But I do see you being at the forefront of something. Or the other thing I'm getting with enthusiasm is being highly respected, because the Ace of Wands does speak about new creative passions. Some of you could be starting a new creative project, or there could be a new passion for something. But what I'm mostly seeing is the reigniting of an old passion. Yeah, and because we do have the 9th house, the example that is coming to mind, it's like re-encountering your passion for a subject and feeling inspired in the month of August to study more on it or learn more about it. Some of you guys could be self-learning. It could be a language because the ninth house also pertains to foreign language, or it could just be a topic, a subject in the month of August. And because you are feeling quite enthused about your passions, your interests, I do see you being consistent and committed to this. So making progress with it, like actually learning something that you can later apply and be able to apply it or to practice it. So yeah, when it comes to your work, when it comes to your profession, maybe your studies, I do see you feeling pretty optimistic, excited about it. Like I see you liking what it is that you're doing. So if before you felt pretty about work, there could be some changes going on at work or at school that will end up in you having a better relationship with your work or with your studies in the month of August. Yeah, because the Three of Cups can also speak about celebration. It's also a card that speaks about joy. So I do see you celebrating quite a bit with your loved ones in the month of June. This could be like celebrating good news or celebrating an event, but I feel more it's just talking about you spending time with your loved ones, chilling, celebrating life, celebrating each other, that you're in each other's lives. The Ace of Wands, because it does speak about passion. Like I said, if you are in a relationship, I do see you being in a really good place in your relationship with your significant other. You feeling quite passionate about one another or rekindling the passion in your relationship. The Three of Cups also makes me think of friendship, so it's reminding me of that vibe I was getting, a very chummy, friendly vibe. So you and your significant other, you have the romantic, passionate side of your relationship, but you also have this innocent, friendly side of your relationship where you are best friends, but you are also lovers. Vice versa. And for those of you who aren't in a relationship, I just see you feeling quite passionate about life and you feeling really connected to your loved ones, the people around you, and also feeling quite inspired to go out either with friends, with colleagues, with co-workers, or actively put yourself in social events, like attend social gatherings or attend environments where there are a lot of people, or attend very festive, amped up environments. Like what is coming to mind is music festivals or carnivals. Are those a thing? Fairs, food festivals maybe. But like events that are out in the open is what I'm getting. Because we do have the sailboat. Some of you could be going to a place where there's a body of water, like a lake, a lagoon, a sea, an ocean. Some of you could be getting on a sailboat. Some of you could be visiting a summer home. If your family has a summer house, okay, somewhere you go during the summer, you could be spending some time there in the month of August. Because I'm getting a lot of summer vibes with this spread. But if it doesn't happen to be summer wherever you are located, I feel like the summer vibe is coming from within you. You're feeling very summery, very vibrant. You're radiating like the sun. Yeah, and because, did I mention this? Because the sun is masculine energy, I see you feeling quite action orientated. Like you are taking action, you are taking initiative, you're being quite assertive. If you see something that you like, you're going for it. I also see you being quite good financially. Yeah, if you see something that you like, I don't see you hesitating to purchase it or feeling bad about treating yourself. But this isn't indicating that you're being reckless with your money, because I'm not getting that. Like you are being mindful, but you aren't being frugal. I will say, you guys, your energy is quite infectious, because I did stop recording in order to go eat dinner. And the whole time I was quite boisterous, very, very talkative, quite loud, and I don't tend to be so loud all the time or for a long period of time. So I feel like I was quite inspired by your energy. Yeah, so your energy might be quite infectious in the month of August. Some might refer to you as a ray of sunshine or a ray of light, or some people might refer to you as their happy pill. But even though you're coming through as a ray of sunshine, that is not to say that you can't or will not come off as strong, because Sagittarius is a very direct energy. So the other thing I'm seeing with all this sun showing up in your spread is that in the month of August, I don't see you putting up with any BS. The word integrity is coming to mind, so I see you putting a lot of integrity in what you do or working with integrity. And it's like you are not lowering your standards or lowering yourself for anybody. So if anybody wants to interact or connect with you, they have to meet you at where you are at. Because I do see you being at a pretty high vibration or high energy, or it could be like being at a pretty good headspace. So because the sun is the brightest star in the sky, and then we do have the Ace of Wands, the card of inspiration, you could be inspiring others to be at this energy where you are at in the month of August. And I'm seeing something like at your workplace, you're kind of nudging others to work at your pace or have your same level of integrity. Yeah, because I am getting this strong feeling of not putting up and or allowing any kind of BS or half-ass energy. Man, I have said the word energy so much in this reading. I apologize for that. I was talking about you being at a good space financially in the month of August, and how you are not hesitating on treating yourself. And I did mention at the beginning how if you don't already own a bike, you could be purchasing one. So maybe this is one of the purchases you will be making in the month of August. Or if it's not a bicycle, it might be some other kind of instrument or tool that will assist you or allow for you to do some kind of physical activity or exercise. Oh, and also because we have double sun in your spread, you could be feeling the most energized during the day, especially when the sun is at its apex. So by late afternoon, you might feel more like taking a nap or engaging in a more relaxing activity. So I would advise to go with the flow. When you're not feeling as inspired to take action, then don't force yourself to take any action or do any strenuous activity. Yeah, and the other thing I'm seeing is that because you might feel the most active during the day, you might feel inclined, or you might find yourself waking up earlier than usual. Yeah, but these are all the messages I'm seeing with these cards so far. So now I'm going to move into El Tarot to find out what it is that Spirit wants to give you a heads up about for the month of August. So let's see. So we have the King of Coins. Oh, let me show you this card. We have the King of Coins upright with grounded, successful, and business empire. And the King of Coins is an earth sign, so Virgo, Capricorn, and or Taurus. And we also have Justice with cause and effect, truth, and get what is deserved. And Justice is associated with the zodiac sign Libra. Yeah, so I feel like this King of Coins could very well be representing your energy. I did mention how I saw you doing financially well this month, or being quite financially stable, like money is no problem this month, and I feel like that's being confirmed with the King of Coins. If you do tend to be quite frugal with your money, I don't see you being as frugal in the month of August, but I do still see you being quite mindful of your spending habits and managing your finances quite closely. I feel like you guys are quite responsible with your money, which is a good thing. Yet I also feel like Spirit doesn't want for you to feel like it's a bad thing to invest in yourself or to treat yourself. Or it could also be like invest in your business or invest in your work and your hobbies and your interests. It is an investment. So that means that it's giving back to you in some way, whether it be in joy, pursuing a passion and growing your business, or making things easier for you. But this King of Coins could also be representing the energy of someone else who will be playing a significant role in your life in the month of August. This could be a boss, an authority figure, a supervisor, someone that you work with, someone that has some kind of authority. With Justice being here and with the Three of Cups showing up in your overview, I do feel like this King of Coins, whoever they may be, is someone you will be working with and working quite well with them, quite amiably. Yeah, I'm getting two different interpretations actually. I feel like this King of Coins could be representing more than one person. Yeah, like for example, this could be two different people at your workplace. One of them you will be working very well with, you will be meeting eye to eye with. I feel like you work really well with this person because they have the same level of integrity as you, or you share the same principles. So that's why you work very well together. You understand one another. This is someone who meets you at your level. And it also gives me this feeling of keeping each other in check or keeping each other accountable. So this feels like a good work relationship with a co-worker or with and it also gives me this feeling of keeping each other in check or keeping each other accountable. So this feels like a good work relationship with a co-worker or with a boss, a manager, a supervisor. It could even be like a teacher, a professor, a tutor, a mentor, or a colleague. This King of Coins could be the one to help resolve any issues that might arise. They might be the one to help bring justice to a situation. And if anything happens in which you need someone to advocate for you, this King of Coins would be the one to do so. And because they are someone well respected and or who has a very important role or position of authority, their word or opinion is gold. It isn't taken lightly since they do have a lot of influence. So just know that you have someone of authority or of influence on your side. But the other thing I'm seeing here is that this King of Coins could be someone that you might not be meeting eye to eye with. I did mention how there could be some challenges this month that you might be a bit concerned about for a while it's ongoing, but you won't be concerned about it for too long because this problem or issue will get resolved pretty quickly. And I feel like this challenge or issue might pertain to someone that you're working with, someone at your workplace or possibly at school, or someone who has some form of authority. Maybe it could even be someone who is managing your finances, or it could even be a family member. Yeah, and I feel that you could be striving to reveal some kind of truth when it comes to this King of Coins. And now that I think about it, the Sun also represents exposure. So you might be exposing a King of Coins who might not be adhering to the rules or who might not be telling the whole truth. And actually, it might not be you who will expose this King of Coins, because I did mention how a situation will solve itself or someone else will solve it. Yeah, so if you feel like a certain King of Coins hasn't been playing fairly or hasn't been doing their side of the job or hasn't been completely honest and you've been struggling with that, because I feel like you guys have a lot of integrity. You're very sincere and honest individuals and you have a really good work ethic. So if someone isn't being completely honest, sincere, or they are lacking integrity, that could be very difficult for you. Just knowing that could be quite difficult. So yeah, this is the situation. I do see this getting resolved. It could be that this person is getting exposed or things are getting revealed, and what I'm seeing with justice is that everything is being put back in its place, or everything is balancing out, being put back into order. In other words, justice is being served. This could also be a heads up to be very, very mindful and or careful in the month of August. Yeah, don't try to cut any corners this month or do anything half-assed is what I'm getting, especially at work, at school, in a professional setting, or in a profession, in a line of work. Yeah, because it might bite you in the butt later on. Yeah, so make sure to keep up with protocol, make sure to do what you do with integrity, follow the rules is what I'm getting with justice. Which is quite interesting because Sagittarius is quite free. They're quite the rule breakers, but there is something about respecting the guidelines. So it might not be necessarily like following the social norms or the social rules or doing things by the book, but it could just be speaking about being respectful, respecting the guidelines, respecting others' time, effort, position, and so forth. Yeah, so also with these two cards, I am seeing that things are going to go quite well at your workplace in a professional setting. I am seeing a lot of respect here. So the other thing I'm getting here is that in the month of August, you will be mostly, for the most part, coming into contact or interacting with people that are at your level. And I mean, that could mean many different things, like at your level professionally, at your level intellectually. But I feel it's more referring to like when it comes to values, morals, when it comes to energy. Yeah, so the other thing I can say is that in the month of August, you are going to be interacting, connecting with a lot of powerful people or empowered individuals. Yeah, so expect to work with, interact, connect with, or make exchanges with people who are reliable, are honest, are fair, and are quite grounded and practical. Yeah, the vibe I'm getting here, it's kind of like the Queen of Swords, but not really, because the Queen of Swords literally cuts through things or cuts away things that she feels no longer serves her highest good. But this energy here is more of like falling away. So anything that is not where you are at or cannot rise to where you are at will fall away. So for example, if you enter a room and that room is full of people from all walks of life, all types of headspace and emotional state and energy, once you walk into that room, like immediately you will see a change in the amount of people that are in that room, because anyone who isn't where you are at or anyone who can't meet you, be on the same page as you, will immediately feel inclined to walk out of the room. And that's that falling away. So it's like you're this ray of light, right? You're shining as bright as the sun. And anyone who can handle your light will just turn away. Only those who will be able to stand in your light, which will be those who shine as bright as you or emit the same kind of light as you, will be able to be around you. So if you see a lot of people leaving or there being a lot of changes where you are at, yeah, it's because you have this immense influence. And it's not only you. Like I said, I feel like there's going to be other people who will be in the same kind of like energy or vibration as you are, where the same thing is happening to them. Like they are also showing up as this sun. And I feel like those are the people that you are sticking with or you're interacting the most with. So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep being you. You guys are doing amazing. You are on the right track. What you're doing is working for you. So yeah, I would say like don't lower your standards. There might be some people who won't be able to catch up, but don't feel like you need to dim your light in order to make them feel more comfortable. You keep being you. Oh, justice also speaks about partnerships. So once again, I see your relationships, private, personal relationships doing very well in the month of August. Them being pretty stable, reliable, and supportive. And the beautiful thing about your relationships is that you don't need to dim your light in order to allow others to shine. Like, you each shine your individual light And there is no overpowering or outshining others. It's like you are shining your light, but it's not to outshine anyone else. It's just you radiating your pure, natural light. And that is allowing for those in your relationships to feel comfortable to shine their own light as well. And it's like they are being receptive to that kind of energy where they're being inspired by how you are shining instead of being intimidated by it. And so they are shining their light as well. And maybe that's why we have two suns in your spread, because it's not only you, but it's also your loved ones. Let's see what else. Be very mindful to not overexert or overwork yourself this month. You will be infused with the energy of the sun, but it's important to balance action with rest. Your body and your mind will need it and thank you for it. When it's time to cool off, then cool off to avoid burnout. For those concerned about not getting fair pay or compensation for your work or efforts or time, know that this month that will be resolved. You will be getting paid your hours or receiving the salary you believe is merit of your position, role, or work. The King of Coins and Justice are letting me know that you are getting back in recognition, profit, fulfillment, achievement, etc. exactly what you invest or have invested, money, time, and or energy-wise. But these are all the messages I'm seeing with these cards. I would like to point out a few things. Sailboats, compasses, sun imagery could be of significance for the month of August. Whenever you see sailboats, be it in real life, maybe in your dreams, in visions, or in images, that could be an indicator or reassurance from your spirit team that you are on the right track, heading in the right direction to keep moving forward. I forgot to mention with the black cat, some of you guys might have a black cat or might provide for a black cat, or you could be spending a lot of time with a black cat or a black animal. But these are all the messages I am seeing with these cards. So now I'm going to move into the last segment of this reading where I'm going to pull out some extra messages to get any last advice, guidance from Spirit for the month of August or just in general. So also, if you want to receive a direct message from any being of light, like an archangel, a spirit guide, your higher self, an ancestor, a loved one who is on the other side, or even from the higher self of someone who is currently physically incarnated in this lifetime, then you can set an intention to receive a message from them, and we'll do our best to connect with them. Or if you just want guidance on a specific thing or an answer to a specific question, then I would just suggest to keep that in mind, set an intention to receive guidance for that, and hopefully we'll get an answer with the written messages that I will be pulling out. So to make this easier for you guys, let's see. I have displayed 3 options just so that you can set your intention for what it is that you need, who you want to connect with, and then meditate upon these options, see which one calls out to you so that you know which message is for you, because I will be pulling out a different message for each option. Or if you have more than one question or being of light you want to connect with, then you can receive more of a direct message by assigning what you need or want to each option here. For our first option, we have a pair of seashells. For our second option, we have a conch shell. And for our third option, we have the seashell. So I will give you a moment to set your intentions and to choose or to assign. Okay, but I will now start with the pair of seashells. Okay, so I feel inclined to just take these 3. So we have the seed knows to root first before reaching for the sky. We also have yesterdays and tomorrows do not exist in the now, only the present does. less is more. Okay, and now moving on to the conch shell. So I will be taking these two. So we have, I am here for you always. Aww. And we also have trust. Okay. And now moving on to the seashell. Okay, so these two. I don't know why, but whatever energy is coming through here felt very Sagittarius-like to me, like very direct. Like these are the messages. You don't need to look around anymore. But we have grow infinitely, for you are limitless. Oh, and we also have I think of you as well. Okay, so these are all the messages we have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Once again, thank you so much for watching until the very end, and a huge thank you to all of you who took a moment to watch the advertisements or just, let them play in the background, since that is a simple way to support me and to support this growing channel. So I truly do appreciate it if you did. But I am wishing you a wonderful month of August, and until the next moment, bye bye. Hello you guys who chose group 2, the combination of the free spirit message with the full moon sticker. Bienvenidos to your reading. So before I start working with the divination tools, I would like to share with you what I intuitively picked up on when connecting with the energy of your group. But if you'd like to skip right on over to where I do start working with the divination tools, the timestamp for that is provided in the comment section as well as the description box down below. But just a heads up that the intuitively channeled messages are part of the reading. Okay, but let us get started. So as soon as I tapped into this group's energy, I did get the feeling that you guys were being advised to not overdo it. Now I know this message is pretty vague and general, but for example, if you have been recently wondering if you need to do more or if how much you have done is enough, this would be confirmation that you have done enough, that you don't need to do more. You don't need to overdo it. Yeah, so if any time during the month of August you start getting the feeling as if you should be doing more, then you know that is your sign to stop. How far you have gone, how much you have done is good enough. Now, also, if you do decide to start and or initiate something in the month of August, you are being advised to take it slow, one step at a time. Don't bite more than you can chew, in other words. Okay, but moving on, the other thing I sense when tapping into this group's energy is that in the month of August, you will be going within and or introspecting quite a bit. I did see in my mind's eye someone meaning you, connecting. So to give you a visual, I saw you taking on the role of the reader, the channeler, the one giving the intuitively channeled messages. So if any questions arise in the month of August, I see you feeling inspired to, instead of going outside of you to look for clarity, guidance, and or answers, to go within, connect with your inner knowing, your inner guidance, your intuition, your higher self, your spirit guides, whoever it is that you resonate with, to find that clarity and or guidance that you seek, to get the answers that you feel you need at the moment. Yeah, so I do feel for a lot of you that in the month of August, you are going to get into the habit of, if you haven't already, to ask yourself first what you think about a situation before asking anybody else. Also, I see a lot of you guys exercising your intuition and or practicing how to connect with your intuition, your inner knowing, and or with your spirit guides. I see a lot of you guys practicing how to channel messages for yourself. Now, you guys were called to this combination of the free spirit message with the full moon sticker, and this is the only group that got 2 items as their option, and the reason for that is I couldn't choose one over the other, so I ended up choosing both to represent group 2. So this could be indicating that in the month of August you could feel a bit at a crossroads. Maybe there is a decision that you would need to make, or there will come a point in which you might feel like you need to choose one thing over the other. And if you are already in this dilemma where you are going back and forth between 2 or more options, this could be a heads up from Spirit that if you think about this situation from a new and different perspective, you might see and or come to realize that you don't really have to choose one or the other. You could choose both or all options involved. Now, the fact that we have this energy of the free spirit and the full moon gives me such a witchy vibe. So for a lot of you in the month of August, you could be exploring more of your witchy side, whatever that might mean to you, and or you might feel drawn to learn more about the occult or metaphysics, the esoteric, magic. But whether you do or don't, I do see you guys feeling drawn to learning more about the phases of the moon and or how to work with the moon energy. Now, I do know that there will be 2 full moons in the month of August. One at the start of the month, which will be the sturgeon moon, and another towards the end of the month, which will be the blue moon. So you could be feeling called to work with these full moons in order to cleanse, release, purge, and or close cycles. So because there are 2 full moons, this sort of feels like a window of time for me. So if you are choosing to work with the full moon in order to purge, release, and or cleanse, you could be going through this process of purging, cleansing, and or releasing from the start of the first full moon up until when the second full moon in August occurs, which is pretty much most of the month of August. But I would like to read the message that you were drawn to and or chose. So this is a printed message that came with a dragonfly necklace. So dragonflies, it could be a significant animal and or insect for you guys. It might be a spirit animal of yours or a spirit animal that will be working with you in the month of August. But the message reads, make a wish and put on your necklace. The dragonfly darts like light, twisting and turning, changing directions, even flying backwards when it needs to. Let your necklace be a reminder to get creative and live life without limits. Okay, so dragonflies make me think of flexibility. With the message, not overdo it. I do feel like you are being advised to be and or to allow yourself to be a bit flexible in the month of August. You know, don't be too strict, especially with yourself. And also, if some things don't go according to plan, don't take that as a sign that everything is going downhill or that you aren't on the right path. No, remember that life is quite unexpected and most things don't end up going according to plan. So the best thing to do when situations like that arise is either go with the flow or just find some flexibility in the situation in order to get the most out of it and or get back on track. if you are concerned about a schedule, timing, and or deadline. Yeah, but interesting I mentioned schedule and timing because I do get the feeling that the month of August, it's about embracing the unexpected and being pretty much like a free spirit, unbound and without any plans. So yeah, you could find yourself needing to either make things up right on the spot, because the word ad-lib keeps coming to mind, and or thinking of solutions and or alternatives right on the spot because something unexpected did come up or things didn't go exactly as planned. Yeah, and I don't know how you guys might feel about that, but I do get the feeling this is all very intentional. It's happening for a reason. It feels like universe really wants for you to embrace and or explore and practice your creativity, as well as loosen up a little bit. Get accustomed to the unexpectedness and the craziness that is life. Because as prepared as we want to be, life always throws a curveball at us. So it's important to kind of exercise that flexibility and that creative muscle to be able to think on the spot and let loose enough so that when we need to go with the flow, we don't struggle, we don't resist, we just allow ourselves to go with the flow. And the message that just came to mind is sort of like reassurance to not worry. You guys will do great. This is all in preparation for what is to come, you know, in preparation for life. Because I don't know why, I just get the feeling for this group that a lot of you guys are barely stepping into the unknown, or you're getting ready to step out into the world. I keep seeing in my mind someone about to graduate from college or university, and they're getting ready to, you know, really see how it is out there. Or someone who is moving out of their parents' house or their childhood home, and they're kind of getting ready to tackle on the world. This doesn't have to be the situation that you are in. It's just the image, the picture that I'm getting to illustrate the vibe and or energy of this month. Yeah, but I don't know. It could be that some of you guys are getting ready to start something new or start something of your own or venture into something on your own. And so Spirit is really getting you prepared for the zigzags and ups and downs and weird little turns that life takes us on. Okay, but now I'm going to move into the divination tools. So I will start off by pulling out some of these homemade divination dice just to find out what significant events will be occurring this month, what to look forward to and or out for in the month of August. Okay. Okay. So these are the ones that fell out for you guys, and I'm gonna roll these ones again because these are actually beads, so they do have 2 holes on 2 sides, and I want the side that has a doodle on them. So we have an X, ooh, and we have go, as well as the sun, the brewing cauldron, and the symbol for connectivity. Okay, so the very first thing that came up with these 2 is that you guys might be traveling to or visiting a place where there is little to no signal or internet Wi-Fi connectivity. The phrase that is coming to mind is a dead zone. So if you are thinking about visiting somewhere where it's very likely that it would be difficult to get signal there, then just be prepared for that. Don't think about taking any work with you over there or expect to catch up on anything that requires of the internet or the web. But if you know how to deal with those specific situations, like you know what backup to get, then yeah, this is just a heads up to get that kind of backup if you are planning on making use of the web or do want to make sure that you always have signal. But whether you are traveling or not, do have a backup for all your important files and projects, because I hope this isn't the case, but you might be experiencing a bit of connectivity or tech issues this month, since we do enter Mercury retrograde towards the end of this month. So yeah, have a backup and double check your emails and texts. But this may also be indicating, especially with the sun showing up here, that you are being advised for the month of August to not distract yourself so much with, social media or online things, instead give yourself some time to just go outside, breathe fresh air, be in nature, enjoy some activities that don't require for you to make use of your phone and or go online and or be in front of any form of technological device. Yeah, because also with the sun showing up here, and it's interesting that the moon was what you were drawn to, but the sun is making me think that you guys might have been spending a little too much time indoors, or that you might be in some need of some natural vitamin D. But it could also be that in the month of August, you are going to be residing in a place that is quite sunny and quite warm, possibly even hot. So just to be prepared for that. But the sun is also making me think of bright ideas and creativity. So if you guys have been lacking creativity, or you are in need of inspiration, you are being let know that you aren't going to find this inspiration scrolling through social media or being online. As a matter of fact, I feel like if you have been spending a lot of time online, that is the thing that is draining your creativity or is blocking your creativity. Yeah, because instead of being fed, you're being drained by consuming so much content. Yeah, so what will get you back in touch with your creative energy and will help get your creative juices flowing is you stepping away from social media or not being online so much or in front of the screen, or what is coming to mind in specific is not being connected. I don't know, like connected to the internet or connected to your phone or connected with other people through like texting them, messaging them a lot. Or this could even be like video games. I know people connect with other people through video games. So disconnecting from all of that for a while will help boost your creativity a lot, and will also help boost your energy, your vitality. You will feel a lot more motivated. Yeah, and the go message is making me think of like board games, simple games, physical games. This go could also be a confirmation for some. If you have been wondering whether you should go for something, this is your confirmation that yes, go for it. If it inspires you, if it uplifts you, if it excites you, then go for it. I also feel like you are going to be in quite a bit of a go-go energy, which is why maybe there was that heads up at the beginning to not overdo it, because with the sun being here, yeah, you could be feeling a bit energetic in the month of August. You might be feeling a bit ambitious is what is coming through, and feel inspired to tackle a lot of things at once or put a lot on your plate. So this is not to say that you can't or that you shouldn't. Try on different hats or go and do the things that you want to do, but there is that heads up to not bite more than you can chew, to pace yourself and not overexert yourself, because the point is not for you to get burnt out. The point for you is to have fun, because the sun also represents playfulness, fun, and joy and excitement. So have fun with what you do or what you're choosing to do or tackle, but don't stress yourself about it or put too much pressure on yourself to do the thing, because that's not the point. The point for you is to enjoy yourself. At least that's the vibe I'm getting with these two. I'm also thinking of a road trip. Maybe some of you guys are going on a road trip, or you've been thinking about going on a road trip, and if so, this is your green light to go for it. Go is making me think of green lights, traffic, driving. So if it's pretty sunny where you are at, and if you do drive and you have difficult driving when there is bright sun outside, just be very mindful of that. You know, always carry sunglasses with you, and don't drive impulsively and or recklessly. Don't speed if you don't have to. Maybe you guys already know that, but these are the messages that are coming through. So this could just be a reminder for some. With the brewing cauldron, this makes me think of you brewing something, you concocting something in the background. Yeah, I get the feeling that some of you guys are planning something. You could be planning an event, you could be planning a trip, or you could be working on a project on the down low behind the scenes. I do get a bit of a secret energy with the cauldron here. So yeah, if that happens to be the case, that you are making preparations and are working on something on the down low, Spirit just wants for you to know that everything is in order, you are right on track, and to keep this up, you know, of keeping this on the down low. People will know what you've been up to once it's done and you decide to reveal it. Yeah, and if it's not you working on something on the down low, this could be someone that you know, and you will soon find out what it is that they have been working on, or this could be universe, your spirit guides. They have been preparing something for you. Yeah, so if you've been trying to manifest and or attract something, this could be a confirmation that universe has been working on this with you behind the scenes, that they are on it, and that this manifestation, it's making beautiful progress. Everything is unfolding nicely for you. Yeah, so if you have been wondering whether you're right on track or whether everything's in order, this is your confirmation that yeah, you are right on track. There was something at the beginning about you not needing to do more than you have already done. Yeah, so maybe some of you guys have been trying to attract and or manifest something, and you have been wondering whether you need to do more, or if there's anything else that you need to do. And if that happens to be the case, again, this is your reassurance that no, there is nothing more that you need to do and or add. And if you haven't seen your manifestation come into fruition yet, it's not because you need to do more. It's because this thing is brewing. You know, it's not done yet. It's like a stew that still needs a little bit more time on the fire before it's ready to be served. So yeah, just be a little bit more patient, and soon you will see your manifestation come into fruition. Okay, but now I'm going to move into the cards. Oh, with the sun being here, this is making me think of a solar return. So some of you could be having your solar return in the month of August, meaning that you will be celebrating your birthday this month. If so, happy birthday to you. Some of you could be going on a trip or a road trip for your birthday if you are celebrating your solar return this month. But now I'm going to get an overview of the month. So I'm going to pull out some oracle cards. So we have the 8th house with moon in Scorpio and the key term power. And we also have sun in Scorpio, the 8th house with endurance. Okay, so we have double Scorpio energy. So some of you could have a sun or a moon in Scorpio, or both. If you do have both, this is like a double confirmation that this is your group. But seeing that the 8th house showed up for your spread twice, I do feel like this month is going to be quite a transformative month. The 8th house is the house of transformation, endings in order to allow new beginnings. And you know what I also find quite interesting is that we have sun and moon energy, and we literally have the moon with the full moon sticker and the sun with the divination dice. So whenever I see sun and moon imagery together, it makes me think of balance, masculine and feminine energy, duality. So this month I do see you balancing out or learning how to balance out your inner masculine and feminine. So the feminine being the receptive, allowing, flowing energy, and the masculine being the action-orientated, go, 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 taking initiative, being assertive kind of energy. So the feminine thinks and imagines, and the masculine works to bring those imaginings into fruition. So I feel like this is also indicating that in the month of August, you aren't only going to be thinking of creative ideas or imagining and or daydreaming, you're also going to be taking action and or the necessary steps to bring these visions into reality. Okay, 2 cards fell out. So we have the 3 of Swords with number 10, the Pig. And we also have the Knight of Pentacles, number 14, with the Rider. So the Pig and the Horse are making me think of the Chinese zodiac signs. So the year of the Pig and the year of the Horse. So if you happen to be the year of the Pig or the year of the Horse, then this is confirmation that this is your group or someone who was born on the year of the Pig or the year of the Horse. Or it could actually be 2 people, one born on the year of the Pig and the other born on the year of the Horse, will be playing significant roles in your life in the month of August. Now I'm going to pull out one more card. And we have yes. Okay. So if you guys had a question in mind, or if you have been inquiring something to the universe or been wondering about a yes or no question, then here is your answer. Your answer is yes. But for example, if you recently took an exam and you were wondering whether you passed or not, this is an indicator that you did pass, you did get in, or that you will be getting accepted into something. Or if you've been waiting to hear back from someone, the answer you will hear back from them is a yes. So there seems to be a lot that is going on this month, but the very first thing that is standing out to me is that there is definitely going to be some healing going on this month, because we do have the 3 of Swords here, which speaks about heartache and heartbreak. So I do see you guys addressing a heartache or a disappointment in the month of August. Whenever I look at the Power card, it always makes me think of being under hypnosis. So some of you could even be doing like intense shadow work or delving deep into your subconscious in order to heal an inner wound, or maybe even to address or heal a trauma. Some of you could actually be going to and or getting a hypnotherapy session. But if not hypnotherapy, some of you could be going to therapy or working with a therapist, a counselor, or a professional in the month of August. Or if you have been going to therapy, I do see you continuing your therapy sessions this month. Because the full moon speaks about the subconscious, hidden truths. It is also connected with the emotional realm. And then the sun speaks about exposure, revelations, revealing the truth. So I do feel like everything that has been hidden and or suppressed, like emotions, for example, or fears, are coming up to the surface in the month of August to be clearly looked at and addressed. Yeah, and with this energy of power, I feel like all of this is very intentional. This person here seems to be like they're willingly allowing themselves to be put under hypnosis in order to bring up to the surface everything and anything that needs to be addressed, cleared out, and or healed. And to do this kind of intense work or step into this self-awareness does require some level of courage, and willpower as well, because not everyone is willing to really take a good look at themselves or at what is hurting them, bothering them, and or limiting them. So I do feel like this is a huge step forward, especially when it comes to your inner work, your inner healing, and your personal and or spiritual journey. Yeah, and with this energy of power, I feel like this is indicating that you guys are, by doing this, by choosing to do this inner work and or to address the issue, the problem, the pain, the hurt, the limitation, whatever it may be, it is assisting with you reclaiming your power. Because I see you no longer being in the dark and are being a victim to the unknown, the unseen. Because you are choosing to shine light into what felt like the darkness. Shine light on the hurt, on the pain, on the triggers, on the trauma, on the limited beliefs, in order to take the power away from them. Because when something is unseen, when it has no name, but it does have some effect on us, we tend to give it power. Because by not knowing what it is, but knowing that it is affecting us in some way, we fear it. We make it bigger and scarier than it actually is. So it's that fear that gives it power. And so by exposing it, shining light on it, becoming aware of it, giving it a name, identifying it, we take the power away from it, because we then see it for what it truly is. Because I'm looking at this power card and I'm thinking that this person at some point thought that these mountains reached all the way up. It was just all darkness. But now that we shine light on it, we see that no, they're actually just hills. It's not all darkness. There are some clear skies. So it's not as daunting as we made it out to be. There is a way over it. There is a way through it. Yeah, so I do see you guys doing some powerful inner work in the month of August. And like I said, some of you could be delving into the depths of your subconscious. It could either be through hypnotherapy, or it could be through like a past life regression, or it could be through some form of therapy. And I do see you making a lot of progress and or seeing some changes within the month of August. Like usually when it comes to the inner work, it takes some time in order for us to see some changes. Like normally, it's not to say that it's always the case. But for this group in specific, I am seeing that you yourself are witnessing, and are feeling some major changes and or transformations within the month. Yeah, because we go from the moon to the sun. So I do see you experiencing some major breakthroughs this month when it comes to this inner work, inner healing, when it comes to self-awareness, revelations, aha moments. But it could be that some of you guys have been doing this kind of work for a while. So it's not necessarily that this transformation, these changes are happening overnight. It's more so that it's been building up to this point. And so if you have been doing the work for quite some time, know that all the work, all the effort you've been putting into this, it's paying off. It has been paying off, and you are going to see the effect, the results of your hard work, your dedication, your willingness in the month of August. And not just this month. I feel like you're going to see more transformations, more growth, more changes, more evolution in the coming months and in the future. But I do see you experiencing some of these breakthroughs in the month of August. And it's so interesting, I just noticed. The month of August is the 8th month of the year, and we have double 8 here. So I do feel like this month is pretty significant for you guys. It feels like a turning point, actually. I don't think we have an eclipse going on this month, so I don't know why I'm thinking of an eclipse. Maybe there's going to be an eclipse before the year ends. I'll look it up later, and if there is, I'll place a caption of when that eclipse will be occurring here in the video, because I feel like if there is an eclipse, the time when the eclipse will occur will be pretty significant for you guys. But it could be that an eclipse coming up for this reading is simply indicating that you guys are sort of at the brink of an ending to, because that's what the 8th house is all about, in order to step into a new beginning. I feel like the month of August is pretty much that fine line. It feels like a dawn, like that in between, that switch between the night to the day, the ending to the new beginning. So I feel like sometime during the month of August, you're gonna feel a major shift. Yeah, because even with this rider over here, we see the rider jumping over the fence. And it's giving me that same feeling of leaving the old in order to explore something new. Some of you could literally be physically moving from one place to another, relocating this month, or you could be making plans or preparations to do so in the near future, but you are leaving something behind. It could be limited beliefs, it could be old hurts, it could be relationships, habits, mindsets, mentalities, but I do see you leaving something behind, and that is freeing you. You leaving this thing behind is freeing you. The Knight of Pentacles speaks about perseverance, dedication, working diligently and persistently on making your wishes, your dreams a reality. The Knight of Pentacles also speaks about patience. And there was a message with the cauldron of being patient, especially if you are waiting for something to manifest. Know that this is going to manifest, but it does require a little bit more time. So this Knight of Pentacles is once again asking you to be a little bit more patient with this. With endurance, I'm getting this feeling of don't feel like you need to push for things to happen faster, or, it's that feeling again of don't feel like you need to do more or be more or put more energy into something in order to make something happen, because that will only create this feeling of desperation, of lack. And although that is not going to hold back your manifestation or ruin it, what it will do is make the experience very unpleasant for you. Yeah, because I am picking up on frustration, irritability. Yeah, because you yourself are going to see that the more work, the more effort, the more energy you put into something, it's not really going to make a difference, especially when it comes to you manifesting something. Because the energy that needed to be put into this manifestation to bring it into fruition has already been put into it. No more is needed. So anything else is excess, and it would just be like, it won't necessarily go into this manifestation, which is the reason why you won't see anything come from you putting more, doing more. Yeah, so that's why there was that message at the beginning, don't overdo it, because you're only going to stress and wear yourself out by overdoing it. Yeah, and this endurance card does speak about self-control. So some of you guys might need to practice a bit of patience and or self-control in the month of August, taming your restless energy in order not to take unnecessary action. Yeah, because this Knight of Pentacles is letting us know that you guys have already put in all the work necessary in order to bring what it is that you want into fruition. And maybe this is not even talking about a manifestation. This could be talking about something tangible that you're currently working on or waiting for it to take off, or waiting to see some results when it comes to this. And because you guys got such a direct answer with the message yes, it could be that some of you guys are literally waiting for a reply. Like you're waiting for a confirmation, you're waiting for feedback. And so this is a situation in which, like, you already done all the work, you already done everything that is in your power, and all you have to do now is wait for the answer. There's nothing more than you can do. So this month is about practicing your patience, practicing that feeling of being not in control of a situation, learning how to let go. And maybe this is that unexpectedness we were referring to at the beginning. Not knowing what the answer is going to be, being in that uncertainty is quite uncomfortable. And that's what I feel like universe is wanting for you to start getting used to, sitting with that uncomfortableness, that uncertainty, because there's going to be a lot of things in life that are going to be uncertain, unknown, that are going to be out of your control. And remember, when it comes to situations that are out of our control, like waiting for a reply, a callback, an answer, what we do have control over is how we choose to respond to those situations. So it's how we choose to behave whilst we're waiting for someone to make the next move. Yeah, so with endurance, I feel like you are being let known to endure, just endure a little bit of the uncertainty, of the unknown. Be patient. You will get an answer or see progress very, very soon. And I feel like it will be in the month of August. I don't feel like you will be left out in the dark for long, because we do have all this sun imagery here. And and as mentioned, the sun is all about exposure, revelations. So you will gain clarity in the month of August before the month ends. Oh, and with this message of go, I'm seeing someone who is like waiting at the start line of a race, and they're getting pretty impatient, they're getting pretty agitated, just waiting for someone to tell them to go. And so when they are told to go, they go for it, they run for it. There's no hesitation. So as soon as you're being given the green light, or the answer that you were waiting for, or the approval, or whatever it may be, there is no moment wasted. You take the next necessary step immediately. Some of you could actually be participating in a race, maybe a horse race, or in some athletic competition. So I'm seeing wrestling here. I'm seeing the rider, horseback riding. Yeah, and then literally the message on the rider card is, the rider is a sure sign of good news. There you have it. And then the message on the pig card reads, the pig, whether near or far, is an omen of phenomenal luck and great abundance. So I do see things turning out really well for you guys. You are experiencing some luck. You are getting good news. And there was this feeling at the beginning of everything is right on track. Yeah, so I do feel like everything is unfolding beautifully for you guys. Even if you might not see it, even if some things might still be hidden, or some things might still be brewing behind the scenes, know that everything is unfolding beautifully for you guys. And I feel like things are slowly being revealed to you, so that you yourself will have that confirmation and reassurance that you are on the right track to keep moving forward. Yeah, but I feel like things are being slowly revealed to you for a reason. You aren't being given everything all at once, because I feel it will be too overwhelming. And also, Spirit is kind of going step by step with you, because you guys are processing some things still. You guys are slowly uncovering more about yourself, more about your desires, more about what you truly want, more about what is in alignment with you. You are slowly coming more and more into self-awareness. And so Spirit is respecting your process. So they are only revealing to you what would make sense to you in the here and now. Yeah, so know that you are going to be doing a lot of healing, or a lot of important healing will be done in the month of August. And I also see you practicing your patience and realizing that you guys have an amazing willpower, and that you can do anything you set your mind to. Yeah, because I feel like some of you guys in the past, you would have thought or believed that no matter how hard you tried, you couldn't practice patience. But in the month of August, you're surprising yourself. yeah, I feel like there's a lot of things that in the past you would have told yourself, like, I can't do it. It's not in my nature, or I can't practice patience because I'm just a very impatient person. And so you would have dismissed a lot of your qualities, or you would have never given yourself a chance to practice something different, or to learn more about yourself, or to challenge yourself. But I feel like in the month of August, things are changing. You are giving yourself a chance. You are allowing yourself to challenge yourself in a healthy and productive way in order to understand your limits and get to know yourself a little bit more. Get to uncover and discover new aspects of yourself. Realize that you are more than what you perceive to have been your limits. You are more than the identities and or labels that you gave yourself. Because I'm seeing something like someone often referring to themselves as anxious. I'm just an anxious person, or I'm just a very fearful person, or I'm impatient, so I can't do X, Y, and Z, or I can never change. Yeah, and what is happening after all this inner work, after all this self-awareness, is that you're realizing that all those things you thought about yourself or said about yourself isn't true. For example, it's not that you're an anxious person. You just experience anxious feelings and sensations at times. That's all. It's not that you are a fearful person. It's just that you experience fear at some points, or there are some things that you are fearful about. But that's it. And so you're also letting go of a lot of labels and our identities that were very limiting. And I also see you challenging a lot of beliefs. Yeah, I also see you guys taming your fears by challenging them in a way, in a healthy way. You know, because it's not about being reckless. It's more about giving yourself an opportunity to grow, to thrive. Yeah, so that's pretty empowering and pretty powerful. Because we do have the number 10 and 14, these could be specific dates, like the 10th or the 14th of August could be important, or from the 10th to the 14th, that could be an important window of time. It could be when you will be receiving your answer, or when you will be taking some next steps or steps forward, or it might be when you will be experiencing some of these breakthroughs. But now I'm going to move into El Tarot to find out what else Spirit wants to give you a heads up about for the month of August. So we have the Tower upright with upheaval, destruction, and catastrophic. Oh my goodness. And we also have Judgment with self-evaluation, awakening, and forgiveness. So we have two major arcana cards and two very powerful ones at that. So I do see a major awakening occurring in the month of August. The Tower does speak about endings, and Judgment does speak about awakenings, so new beginnings. It's kind of like the energy of a rebirth. So yeah, as mentioned previously, I do feel like in the month of August, you guys are transitioning from an ending into a new beginning. You are closing cycles this month. You are letting go of anything that needs to be let go of. The Tower speaks about everything and anything that was unstable falling away. And I really love how this Tower is depicted, because usually in the Tower cards in tarot, we always have people falling off of the tower as it's tumbling down. But in this specific image, the only person here is far away from the tower, far away from the destruction. There's actually even this gap or this crevice between them and where the tower is standing or now falling apart. So This lets us know that wherever you are right now, or wherever you will be when this tower falls, when everything that needs to fall away from your life falls away, you will be in a safe place. So this could be indicating that you will be in a safe mindset where you are aware as to why this tower moment had to occur. You will be well prepared for it. Like, this won't be unexpected, because it even seems like this person here expected for this to happen. Like, they were prepared for it. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting for you guys. Like, you will be prepared for this. It won't be so unexpected for you. It could even be that you have, or you will be waiting for this to happen. Like, you already know what isn't stable. You already know what needs to fall away. And you're just waiting for it to fall away, to come to an end, to close a cycle. And if that is what you guys have been waiting for, yeah, know that you will be experiencing it in the month of August. I also see this kind of representing a detachment. You no longer feeling attached or dependent upon something that was holding you back or preventing you from moving forward. So if there is something right now that you have difficulty letting go of, or you struggle with detaching yourself from it, maybe for some it could literally be like social media or an online video game. I do see you reaching a point in the month of August where you no longer feel that attachment. You're free from it. You're no longer dependent on it. And so it's easy for you to just let go of it, to walk away from it, to move on forward. For others of you, this could be speaking about a relationship, because I did mention how some of you could be healing a heartbreak. And maybe that's what you guys are working through in the month of August, is working through a heartbreak, working to move on from a previous relationship or move on from someone. And if so, yeah, I do see you moving on from this person or this relationship, connection, attachment, whatever it may be. Looking at the Judgment card, the feeling that I'm getting from it is this phantom representing the past, an old version of you. It's like putting an old version of you to rest by accepting the past and or moving on from it. You know, it's this feeling of, okay, what has transpired has already transpired. I no longer have to hold on to it. I no longer have to live in it. I can move on from it. I can leave it in the past. And that could be what the tower is. It's like this old life, or the old burdens, or the burdens of the past. It could even be dreams, goals that you were working towards to, but at some point you realized that these were no longer your dreams or goals. That what you were working towards to achieve, to create, didn't belong to you anymore. It wasn't really of you and for you anymore. Because at some point you realized they became someone else's dreams, or at some point you realized that they were never your dreams, your goals to begin with. And so in order for you to start pursuing your dreams, your current dreams or goals, you need to let go of this. And so you do. Yeah, and with self-evaluation, that's literally what I'm sensing you guys doing in the month of August. It's like you're taking a good look at your journey, at where you are at, and whether this is what you want to keep going at, what you want to keep pursuing, what you want to keep doing. This is the path that you want to continue being on. And I also see you taking a good look at yourself, like, what is it that I have learned so far? And how many of these lessons have I actually applied and integrated into my life? Yeah, these two cards gives me this feeling of taking a good look at yourself. Not just at what you have created, how much you have accomplished, what you have done, how far you've come, but taking a good look at yourself, your inner world, assessing how you feel about the world you are in, or the world, the life that you have created for yourself. Whether you feel a participant of it, whether you still feel like a victim, whether you are still in a victim mentality, whether you are still blaming others for certain things that happened or did not happen, whether you are taking accountability or responsibility for your actions, your choices, whether you're still holding on to resentment, to pain, to guilt, to shame. What is weighing heavy on your heart? What is weighing heavy on your conscience, on your mind? And because the Judgment card, actually the Judgment card fell out in the horizontal position. So when cards fall out in this direction, that to me either indicates the foundation of the overall energy, like where the overall energy is being grounded on, or it can represent more of a neutral energy. Like it's something that we're still working on. So remember that the healing journey isn't linear, and it's always ongoing, because we are infinite beings, and I feel we wouldn't be here if we already knew everything and didn't need to learn more. So we are still gonna learn more lessons. We are still going to uncover and discover more about ourselves and learn that there is still more to grow. So I feel like that's what the Judgment in the horizontal position is indicating, that this self-awareness, this taking a good look at yourself is something that will continue, and or you will be continue doing further on in your journey, because there always comes a point in our journey where we do this self-evaluation. And it's not judging ourselves and being hard on ourselves and putting ourselves down. It's more about being honest, sincere with ourselves in order to find out what is it that we need to work on, what is it that we need to heal, what are we still holding on to that is no longer serving us or holding us back. So that's what I'm seeing with the Judgment card. But I will say that for the month of August, I do see a lot of forgiveness occurring, forgiveness of others and forgiveness of the self. And I'm also seeing something like forgiveness of the past, so that you can continue on. And I'm also seeing something like really taking a moment to see whether you have been living in alignment with your morals, with your values, or with your heart's desires. I'm being reminded of like cognitive dissonance, whether there has been some cognitive dissonance. Have you been living up to your standards, not so much your expectations, but your standards? Have you been keeping the promises that you make to yourself? Have you been honest and sincere with yourself? Have you been treating others the way that you want to be treated? Yeah, I feel like this Judgment card is not talking about, evaluating others or seeing how the world has been treating you, but it's more like going within, taking a look at yourself and seeing how you've been treating yourself, how you've been treating others, whether you've been staying true to you, whether there is something that you need to forgive yourself for and or applaud yourself for. The Judgment card also speaks about acknowledging your efforts, acknowledging your growth, acknowledging your evolution, because there has been evolution here. You guys have evolved so much. You have worked through so much. We do have the energy of endurance and power. You guys have come so far. You have. I just looked at yes, and what just came to mind was, have you been doing the work? Yes. Have you been making beautiful progress? Yes. Have you been doing enough? Yes. Is it time for you to reap the fruit of your hard labor and dedication? Yes. So these are all the messages I am seeing here with the cards. So now I am going to move into the last segment of this reading, where I offer space for you to receive a direct message from any being of light that you wish to hear from at this moment. So this could be a spirit guide, an archangel, a guardian angel, an ancestor, a loved one who is on the other side, your higher self, or the higher self of someone who is currently physically incarnated in this lifetime. And or if you have an inquiry in mind that you want to receive a direct answer to or guidance on, then you can set an intention to receive a message for that. But we do have 3 options here. So for option number 1, we have a pair of seashells. For option number 2, we have the seashell. And for option number 3, we have the conch shell. So if you have more than one being of light that you want to hear from, or more than one question in mind, then you can assign a different question to each option. Or if you like, you can cast your gaze upon the options and see which one calls out to you. And the one that calls out to you will be the one that has a message for you. Okay, so I will give you a moment to set your intentions and or to choose. And I will start off by pulling out a written message for those who chose the pair of seashells. So we have this one. And this 2. So for our first message, we have your soul and heart is never without knowing. We also have you are protected. And the last message is for every ending, there is a beginning. Now moving on to those who chose the seashell. Okay, I feel I'm only meant to read these 2. Okay. Your next journey awaits. Oops. And whenever you're ready. I feel like these 2 go perfectly together. Your next journey awaits whenever you're ready. But now I'm going to pull out some messages for those who chose the conch shell. This one. Okay, so these 4. Time does not heal the internally wounded or the inner wounds. Life does, so live. We also have our connection deserves more than a label. It deserves every expression. We have it's okay to ask for help. And the last message, I will wait for you. Okay, so these are all the messages we have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching until the very end. And a huge thank you to all of you who took a moment to watch the advertisement, since that is a simple way to support me and to support this channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. Oh yeah, and thank you to all of the energies that came through to help deliver these messages for you guys. Yeah, but I am wishing you a wonderful month of August, and until the next moment, bye bye. Hello you guys who chose the mini postcard. Bienvenidos to your reading. So before I start working with the Divination Tools, I would like to share with you what I intuitively picked up on when connecting with the energy of this group. You can skip this portion of the reading if you'd like. I have provided a timestamp for that in the description box as well as the comment section down below. But just a heads up that these intuitive messages are part of the reading. Okay, but let's get started. So the moment I started tapping into this group's energy, the month September kept coming to mind. And I had to keep reminding myself that I was doing a reading for the month of August of 2023. So if you were born in the month of September, this could be a confirmation for you guys that this is your group. But if not, this does feel like a heads up that the month of September is and will be pretty important and or significant for you guys. And this is true whether you were born in the month of September or not. I just feel like for this group, the month of September is a month to look forward to and out for. Maybe something that you are doing or is happening in the month of August is leading up to something important that will occur in the month of September, or something that you started or are continuing to do in the month of August will reach its climax or come to a conclusion in the month of September. But moving on, the other word that came to mind was sign. So I'm not quite sure if this is sign as in signing something or sign as in, signs that you see, like signs from the universe or stuff like that. So it could be half and half. Maybe this is indicating that in the month of August, you will be signing a contract or making a deal or putting your name to something, a work of art or a project, or some of you could even be patenting something. And or this is another heads up that in the month of August, you will be seeing a lot of signs. This could be something like seeing a lot of angel numbers or repeating numbers, or experiencing a lot of synchronicities, or receiving messages and or confirmations through patterns and or things that you see or hear or even feel. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be one or the other, it could be both. Now, I did see in my mind's eye someone being given a badge. More specifically, I saw a sash being placed on someone. So this could be indicating recognition, achievement, awards, and or successfully completing something. Like completing a course or completing a level or a project. But I do feel like this is also an indication that in the month of August, if you haven't already developed this habit, you will start developing the habit of acknowledging your own efforts and celebrating yourself, as well as feeling and being quite proud of yourself just for being you. So I do sense that you guys will be feeling quite special in the month of August, because you are making sure to remind yourself how special you are. And I get the feeling that people around you will also be making you feel quite special and appreciated in the month of August. This might sound quite cheesy, but I do feel like some of you guys could even be gifted something that has a message like best mom or best dad or best sister or best teacher, or you are amazing, you are magic, something along those lines. And that could be like a little award, like a token that recognizes your amazingness. Now, the other thing I saw in my mind's eye was a rocket lifting off. If rockets are a sign for you guys, or if they mean anything specific to you, then please take that meaning into consideration, or take this as a confirmation. But I feel like this is representing new heights or something taking off. Like an idea that you've had is finally taking off because you will be working on it in the month of August, or executing it, or something that you have been working on. It's either going to be exhibited, shared, or it's gonna be doing quite well. But this could also be indicating that you guys will be feeling quite inspired in the month of August. And the following will sound a bit corny, but how it's coming through is that you will be feeling quite inspired to reach for the stars. The rocket lifting off gives me this feeling of someone getting ready to take off, getting ready to give it their all at something, or just get out there and explore, take chances to make things happen. Yeah, and I keep thinking of the month of September. So, yeah, I feel like something that's starting, maybe if not continuing, in the month of August will really take off in the month of September. So, for example, if you in the month of August feel inspired to like pursue a dream or really dedicate yourself to something or just go all in with something, I feel like the month of September is where you're really gonna go and pursue that thing or really get started on that project or on making that dream a reality if it's not in the month of August. Yeah, so I do feel like September is gonna be a pretty significant and powerful month for this group. Now, the last message that came to mind was a listen to your heart, and I will be honest, what I really heard in my mind's eye was the song Listen to Your Heart by Roxette. So if that song has any special meaning for you, or if it has been coming up quite often, then this could be serving as a confirmation. But if not, and if you feel inspired to do so, I do recommend for you to take a listen to it or read through the lyrics, because there could be an important message in that song for you guys. But what came to mind when I heard this message was advice that before making any final decisions, make sure to go inward, go within, to really ask yourself if this is what you really want. If what you are choosing is really what is in alignment with you. Or if what you are choosing it simply out of fear or because you think you should. Yeah, so you are being advised to be quite honest and sincere with yourself and, listen to your heart. Okay, but you guys did choose this mini postcard and you were drawn to this one for a reason. So I do want to take a closer look at it. We do have someone here holding an umbrella, and umbrellas to me indicate protection. So this is a reminder that you are divinely protected. And I'm especially getting that with these sparks of color here because to me, it looks like energy. At least that's how I'm interpreting it. So I feel like these are meant to represent your spirit guides, your spirit team, and how they are often with you, beside you, around you. Wherever you are, they are there looking after and over you. So if you ever need of their assistance and or their guidance, know that you can call upon them and they will be there for you. Yeah, and maybe that's why the word signs came up, because if you do call upon them or ask for their guidance, you will receive an answer from them through signs. Yeah, and I do get the feeling that for this group, your spirit guides are quite, I was going to say mischievous, but they are quite interactive. So they do send you a lot of signs. They do find ways to interact, connect, and or communicate with you. So yeah, you guys might experience a lot of synchronicities or just a lot of like peculiar and interesting stuff that might seem a bit mischievous, if not paranormal at times, like a book randomly falling out of a shelf. I'm getting something like chimes or bells, hearing the sound of chimes or bells out of nowhere, or finding sparkly things, sparkly glittering things, or things that shine. I don't know. I just feel like your guides are pretty playful, and they do send you a lot of signs, and they do interact with you in very fun and unique ways. Yeah, I did say paranormal. I didn't mean paranormal as in scary. It's more like very out of this world experiences that seem almost, magical. Yeah, okay. But now I'm going to move into the divination tools. So I will first start off by pulling out some of these homemade divination dies to find out what you can look forward to in the month of August. any significant events and so forth. Okay. Oh my goodness. So let me pick up the ones that fell on the floor. So these two fell on the floor and fell like this, and this one fell out of frame. So these are the ones we have, and I'm going to roll this one again because these aren't exactly dies, they're beads, so they do have holes on two sides, so I want the side that has an image on it. Okay, this one had fallen on this side with the compass on it, but then it switched over to the cactus after this one over here with the TV on it hit it. And this caught my attention because I couldn't shake off the feeling of a quite sad and even defensive vibe coming from this image. And I was going to mention it, but I kept leaving it aside for later. And with the cactus showing up, yeah, I feel like this is a sign that I should talk about it. Because the cactus to me represents defensive mechanism, being on guard, having your defenses up. So I do feel like this is currently your energy. If not, this might be the energy you will be in at the start of the month, having your defenses up or feeling like you need to be on guard. Some of you guys might even be isolating quite a bit at the start of the month or feeling the need to do so. And there is this sad feeling around the start of the month. So I feel like that's why your spirit guides are showing up in these colors over here, because they do want for you to know that you're not alone. That even though you might feel lonely, that doesn't mean that you are alone, because they are with you. And if you allow yourself to, you can feel their energy. Like I said, your spirit guides, your spirit team, they are quite interactive. So I do feel like they are always trying to, I wouldn't say get your attention, but they are always making sure that you know that they are beside you, that they are with you. So if you ever feel the sensation of a warm embrace or of a gentle touch, or you all of a sudden just get overwhelmed with this feeling of love or warmth, know that is your spirit guides reaching out to you. And actually, I feel like some of you guys could interpret this surge of warmth and or love as a feeling of sadness. And maybe that's what leads to you feeling quite sad and or melancholic. Because I feel like in that moment, when you feel that surge of love and warmth and acceptance, it's when you put your defenses down. I feel it is only when you're no longer on the defensive that your spirit guides can really come through for you. Yeah, because if we look closer at the image, it almost looks like these lights over here, they're close to the person, but they can't really get to them because they do have their umbrella up. And I feel like the umbrella is representing, that guard being up. You having some walls around you. So yeah, I feel like the moment that you put your walls down, that's when you feel all the love that is around you, that's always been there. And because that's so very vulnerable, being open to that energy does require vulnerability. It can feel quite raw, so raw that it might translate as sadness. I'm not doing this justice. I'm not explaining it well, because more than sadness, it just feels like when you put your defenses down, there could be an intense emotional response to that. It can feel a bit overwhelming. Yeah, because I'm getting something like the response one gives when they receive affection for the first time after a really, really long time. Yeah, and because it's so raw, the feeling, so vulnerable, and so new or even unfamiliar, it might feel a bit uncomfortable for some. And because it is uncomfortable, the first reaction might be to resist it or push it away. And that's when you might put your walls back up. But the message that just came to mind is the ice is slowly melting. So I feel like you guys are getting more familiarized and comfortable with the warmth. And maybe that's why the compass showed up first, because this is reminding me of following your inner compass, which is reminding me of the message, listen to your heart. So there's something about slowly understanding and are coming to realize that this warmth, this love isn't harmful, or it isn't going to hurt you. And that you aren't going to hurt yourself for allowing yourself to feel it and just receive it. And actually, we do have the swan here. So we have the swan, the television. We have this one that represents children or a child. This to me indicates union. We have the compass, and we also have the web or the internet. So the swan to me represents unconditional love, eternal love. And with the symbol of union, in the month of August, I see you coming more and more into alignment with the energy or the frequency of love. You know, being receptive to it, being open to it, allowing yourself to receive it and feel it, truly feel it, as well as embody it. So I am seeing self-love and self-acceptance. And with the television, this to me is indicating that you are letting go of programmings that were keeping you from aligning with or being in a space of love. With the child here, I also feel like this is indicating that the month of August, it's pretty much a time in which you are opening yourself up more to your inner world, because the child is making me think of the inner child. So I do see you getting in touch with your inner child in the month of August and having a lot of moments in which you're not really planning anything. You're more so allowing for your inner compass to guide you, doing what you feel to do in the moment without there needing to be a real reason or a purpose for it or an end goal. So you could be embodying a bit of a spontaneous and or playful energy in the month of August, or just, you know, going with the flow. I also do see you spending quite a bit of time by yourself in the month of August, taking yourself out on a date or walking around the block on your own, going to the cafe on your own, and enjoying your own company. Because I'm also picking up on a lot of silence. So it's like being alone in silence, not having any distractions. And it's interesting because we actually have two images that indicate distraction to me. We have the TV and then we have the web or the internet. So yeah, if you have been distracting yourself a lot recently with like social media or television series, I feel like in the month of August you might still be, you know, scrolling through social media or binging some of your favorite series and or movies, but I also see you taking some time to just simply be in silence, look around you, be in the moment, and enjoy your company, and maybe even enjoy the company of others without any of these distractions. And I feel like that is going to be quite refreshing and very, very cleansing for you guys. Yeah, because I feel like these distractions here, they do help to distract you from like day-to-day concerns and or stresses, but I also feel like they add a lot of stress, just a lot of noise, like unnecessary information is what I'm getting. Yeah, because I'm seeing someone spending hours scrolling through social media and then after feeling a bit drained. because now they have like these new things to think about or new things to worry about, things that they weren't worrying about before. But because they saw a post that made a big deal out of it, now they themselves feel like it's a big deal and they should be worrying about this thing. Yeah, so if you resonate with that, then this could be your heads up to take a break from social media or the internet or media in general. Because more than a distraction, it could be the thing that is draining you or the thing that is creating inner turmoil, inner conflict, or problems. I will say though, with these two over here, I am getting a bit of a romantic vibe because I am being reminded of counterparts, like two individuals or two energies or two souls that are vibrating at the same frequency or are in alignment with one another. Yeah, so I feel this is more a message for those of you who are currently single or not seeing anyone. You will be feeling the energy of your counterpart or your person, that's how it's coming through, in the month of August very keenly. Yeah, I do feel like this is talking about energy. I'm not necessarily sensing like a physical interaction between two people. It's more so just energy. But I'm now going to move into the cards. Hopefully we'll get more messages about this because it's a bit vague for me at this moment. But now we're going to get an overview of the month. Find out what the main themes and or lessons of this month will be. Ooh. Okay, yeah. So the card that flipped over is Isolation with Saturn in Virgo, the 6th house. So I feel like this is confirming that you could be isolating quite a bit at the start of the month, and or just choosing to spend a lot of time in solitude or alone. But I'm going to pull out the rest of the cards. Oh, okay, that was fast. Oh, okay, and we have the 6 of Cups or the 6 of Hearts with number 3, the house. The house is making me think of like a homebody energy. Choosing to stay at home rather than go out. So some of you guys might identify as being quite the homebodies. Or rather than identify, resonate with the homebody energy. Oh, okay, so this one flipped over and this one fell out. I'm going to take both of them. So we have Sea Sponge with energetic absorption and empath. And we also have Crab with consider the unconventional and take a sideways approach. So because the crab showed up, some of you could be a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or have Cancer predominant in your birth chart, or maybe water could be predominant in your birth chart, because we also do have the 6 of Cups. We also have like Saturn in Virgo. So some of you could have Saturn in Virgo. But if not, don't worry about it. This is more here to represent the overall energy of the month. So with Sea Sponge and Isolation, in the month of August, you might be experiencing some sensitivity, especially to energy and or the emotions of others. And that might be the reason why you will be choosing to spend time alone or to, in a way, isolate. Because you might find it a bit difficult to be around others. And I'm seeing this as in you easily picking up on other people's emotional state, the energy they are in and or are emitting or projecting, but also sensitive in that you will be quite responsive and or reactive to other people's emotions and or actions. So In other words, I do see you feeling quite emotionally sensitive in the month of August. Yeah, and it's quite interesting because I was talking about how I felt your guard up, especially with the cactus having showed up. And what I'm seeing here, it's like someone whose walls just torn down, and especially the walls around their heart, if there were any walls. And now they're feeling all the feels. So it's not only having an intense emotional response to other people, but it's also to anything that pulls on the heartstrings. Because I'm noticing this pink flower here, and I'm thinking of someone who is emotionally moved at the sight of a beautiful flower, or someone who has an intense emotional response to the sight of a beautiful scenery. And with the TV being here, I'm thinking of finding yourself crying in the middle of a movie because what you saw moved you so deeply. So yeah, I'm seeing you having a lot of experiences where you are emotionally moved by something that you see, by something that you hear, by something that you experience. And I don't necessarily see this being a bad thing. I don't know how you guys might interpret it, but to me it's not giving me like a bad feeling, because this to me just feels like you experiencing your emotions. It's coming through as a bit intense because I feel like, at least that's what I'm sensing through these cards, and what's coming through is that even though you guys did allow yourself to feel through your emotions, you only allow yourself to feel through them to some extent. It's like instead of allowing for the waterfall to flow, you only allowed for a little spring. And when you noticed that the spring was getting bigger and was turning into a waterfall, that's when you kind of like closed the faucet and called it a day. Like, oh, okay, wait. I allowed myself to feel, but only to this extent. Like, that's enough feeling for today. I'm not ready for that waterfall yet. The spring is enough. And so what's happening in the month of August is you feeling the totality of your emotions, not just a snippet of it. And that is why it's coming through as intense, because it's quite new, or at least it feels quite new for you, to the point where it might be a bit overwhelming at times. You know what I'm being reminded of? I'm not saying that this is you. It's just the best picture or reference my brain could come up with to illustrate the energy I'm sensing. It's like Grinch. Have you guys seen the Grinch movie? When Grinch's heart grows 3 times or 6 times its size, and he feels overwhelmed by it because he's never felt this much emotion before. And it's not that he's never felt it, he has, but it's been a while since he has allowed himself to feel it. So he's kind of forgotten the feeling. And then him feeling it, what seems to be out of nowhere for him, is quite intense and overwhelming. So that's what I'm sensing occurring here. I now understand why some of you might choose to take it slow in the month of August, because you are experiencing life, your environment, and yourself on a whole new level. So I am seeing a bit of adjusting happening in the month of August, adjusting to vulnerability. It almost feels like a heart chakra activation. So that might be the case for some of you guys, like your heart chakra has been going through a purge or a major cleansing, and what you are experiencing in the month of August is the clarity, the openness of your heart space when there are no more blockages, when there is nothing holding it back. Yeah, and I did speak about you connecting with your inner child, and actually this person in pink here is reminding me of a child, more specifically the inner child. And also all this color pink is reminding me of the higher heart chakra, because I believe the color that is associated with the higher heart chakra is the color pink. And that is the energy center that directly connects us with our higher self. And I personally feel it also directly connects us with our inner child, with our most authentic, purest essence. And then we have the Six of Cups, which literally represents the inner child, a very playful, very innocent energy. So I feel like you guys are coming to this very pure, innocent, and vulnerable state in the month of August. And it does feel like a bit of an emotional roller coaster ride. Yeah, and I just keep thinking of Grinch. It's like him being so surprised at the fact that he can feel this much, that his heart can be this big and not hurt him. And if I recall correctly, Grinch was very careful as to not allow for his heart to grow. He worked very hard to keep it small. And it was all his way of protecting himself because he had been hurt in the past. When his heart was its normal size, when he was open to love and affection, when he allowed himself to dream and to long, that's when he experienced hurt. And so his response to that was to isolate himself, to put up all these walls so that there was no chance, no opportunity for anyone to get to him ever again. But someone eventually does, a child, a pure heart manages to connect with him, to see him for who he is, and to pull on his heartstrings and remind him of what he truly cares about, of what truly matters to him. Because the Grinch in actuality had the biggest of hearts, no matter what he believed of himself. I feel like, as Lumpy Space Princess would say from the animated series Adventure Time, you guys are getting in touch with your feelings. Seriously in touch with your feelings. So I don't necessarily feel like in the month of August, like suppressed emotions are coming up. I don't feel that to be the case. This doesn't feel like an emotional purge for me. I feel like you guys have already gone through that. This feels more like allowing yourself to feel what you genuinely feel in the moment without downplaying it. And also, like, getting in touch with your heart space, allowing yourself to feel what you genuinely long for. And that was the vibe I was getting with the swan and the Venn diagram. I feel like there's something your heart space has been asking for you to address. There's this longing, there's this yearning for something. But like, even though you guys recognize it to some extent or acknowledge it to some extent, you haven't fully allowed yourself to accept it. And what I see happening in the month of August is that you are coming to accept what it is that your heart has been longing and or yearning for or calling for. What it is that your heart has been trying to tell you, which is why the message "listen to your heart" came through at the beginning. And so I would advise to not run away from whatever it is that you're feeling, from your emotions in the month of August. Allow yourself to feel them, even if they are uncomfortable. Emotions, most of them are uncomfortable, but that doesn't mean that they are bad or that they are negative, or that we should run away from them. Allow yourself to feel through that uncomfortableness, just so that you will see for yourself that you'll be all right. Like, feeling through it isn't going to hurt you. You will come out of it just fine. Yeah, so if you have the habit of distracting yourself or numbing yourself with entertainment or media, I would advise for you to hold yourself back from doing that this month. Because this energy here isn't going to go anywhere. It's going to keep coming up. So you could prolong this process, or you could just go with it. And I do feel like you guys will be quite sensitive to the energy around you. So you might not even feel so encouraged to go online. You could be a bit selective about what kind of content you consume, because you will be so susceptible to energy. So you might find in the month of August that you will be resonating with a lot of the people, the channels, the accounts that you follow. Yeah, because even if it's like you seeing a work of art that someone created, you will be able to feel the energy of that person who created that work of art just by seeing the painting. So if that person was feeling sad or angry when they created that work of art, you will be able to pick up on that. Or if someone is projecting a certain energy into their content or what they're posting or putting out there, you will be able to pick up on that. And quite intensely is what I'm getting. Yeah, so as mentioned, especially with the 6th house being here, I do see you being quite selective of what you consume and what you engage with in the month of August. And just notice we have repeated 6s here, so the number 6 could be of significance, or 66, or repeated 6s. And because I did mention Cancer, some of you could be a Cancer born in the month of June, or you could just have been born in the month of June, or the month of June could be of significance for some, or you could have been born on the 6th of a month. But the number 6 in itself, to me, represents harmony, appreciation, and love. Yeah, so if you start seeing the number 6 quite often, or repeated 6s, that could be a sign that you are coming more and more in alignment with the energy of love, or you are allowing yourself to be more and more open to that energy or that state of being. So because we do have the planet Saturn here, which is the planet of discipline, and then Virgo, a zodiac sign that I personally associate with discipline, you are being advised to take it slow in the month of August and not be hard on yourself. It's okay for you to feel your feels, and it's okay for you to be sensitive. You guys are just allowing yourself to open up more and more to the world around you, and more to your inner world. And with this energy of isolation, I know when we are feeling a lot or processing a lot, one of the first responses or reactions might be to isolate. But it's important to discern when you are choosing to be in solitude in order to recharge and or process whatever it is that you're going through, versus isolating, because isolation can eventually lead to putting our walls back up. Because isolating could be a way of avoiding, especially if you are having an emotional response to your environment, to your outside world. Locking yourself up could literally be avoiding and are running away from feeling those emotional responses, not having any emotional response, not feeling that connection with the world around you. So be very careful to not isolate, or be very mindful and or discerning when you are starting to isolate for long periods of time, or when your first response or reaction to anything that gets you in touch with your emotions is to isolate. And remember that when you are going through a difficult time, you don't have to go through that difficult time alone. Maybe you guys are used to that. You're used to struggling alone. And because we do have this person in pink literally reaching out to the person who seems to be in distress, I do feel like there will be people who will be reaching out to you. So if you don't reach out to others, people will come to you, kind of like to pull you out of your room, to pull you out of isolation. But you are being advised that if you can be the one to reach out, to do so. Because I feel like that's one of the lessons of this month. Allowing yourself to be comforted. allowing yourself to be loved, allowing yourself to receive support and affection and care from others. Now we do have the Six of Cups here, and I was talking about like counterparts and possibly soul connections, and the Six of Cups is a card that is often associated with soulmates or soul connections, or the very least it represents a familiarity, like feeling a familiarity towards someone even if you've never met this person before in this lifetime. I have yet to pull out the tarot cards, but this is a confirmation that in the month of August, you will be feeling the energy of someone you have a soul connection to very, very strongly. You might even, because we do have the empath card, you might even be experiencing something like feeling this person's emotions. Even if they are at a physical distance from you, even if you've never met them in person or know who they are, when we have a soul or an energy connection to someone, we can pick up on them without needing to be in physical contact with them. So I do see that being the case for a lot of you. And I am picking up on a romantic soulmate. So for those of you who are in a committed relationship and you know that you are with your person, because we do have the house here, it's making me think of like family, someone that you're living with. Your significant other could be the one that you're picking up on. Like you're feeling their emotions very, very intensely because you do have this strong connection to them, especially a strong emotional connection to them. But in general, this may be indicating that in the month of August, anyone you have a strong emotional connection to, you will be feeling their energy, their emotions very, very intensely. And maybe that's why you might be feeling the need to be in solitude, because if you are living with, or you are constantly in close proximity with people you have a strong emotional connection to, then I can see how it would be very overwhelming to be around these people at times, especially if they are feeling or going through very intense emotions themselves. But just be careful not to isolate as a way to escape, and also be very careful as to not keep yourself from connecting with others. It's okay for you to connect with others, and I feel like that's what you are finding to be the case in the month of August, that it is beautiful to feel with others. Not only just feel others, but feel with others. Okay, but now I'm going to pull out some tarot cards to just see if there's anything else that Spirit wants to give you a heads up about for the month of August. Okay, so we have the Seven of Swords in reverse with coming clean, fresh start, and rethinking your approach. And we also have the Moon with intuition, dreams, and illusion. So the Moon is connected to Cancer. So some of you might have a Cancer Moon, or you might have Cancer somewhere in your chart. The Moon is also associated with emotions. Yeah, so this is just confirming that you will be very, very in tune and in touch with your emotions this month, as well as with your intuition. You might have very telling dreams, or your dreams are going to be very, very vivid. They will also elicit an emotional response from you. So you might wake up with tears running down your face because you had a dream that had you in your feels, or you could wake up feeling very, very happy, very excited because you had a really good dream that elicited that kind of response from you. And I feel like in the month of August, your dreams are going to reflect or be very telling of how you actually feel about certain situations, or what you are longing and are yearning for. So if you can, keep a dream journal in the month of August, or just jot down any dreams that you do recall that left a deep impression on you or elicited some emotional response from you. I do suggest for you to do that because I feel like you can be getting a lot of clarity from these dreams. I also feel like you will be doing a lot of astral traveling or projecting whilst you are asleep in the month of August. So I do see you having a lot of encounters, either with beings from other dimensions, if you believe in that, resonate with that, or with the higher selves or the higher consciousness of people who are physically incarnated in this lifetime. So for example, for those of you who resonate with feeling the energy of a counterpart or someone you have a soul connection to, you will be encountering this person's higher self or higher consciousness in the astral realm. Maybe having a lot of dreams about this person or sharing a lot of dreams with them. You will be meeting this person in a dream. So yeah, again, if you want to know more information about this person, then I do suggest you writing down these dreams you have about them, especially if you are recalling them after you awake. Because the moon is making me think of gaining clarity, answers being revealed, truths that were hidden coming to the surface. And because you guys are going to be quite sensitive to energy in the month of August, I also feel like you will be able to connect the more easily or clearly with your spirit guides or spirit team, especially if you set an intention for that. Yeah, so if you are someone who prefers to receive messages through some form of divination, like reading cards for yourself, and if you do have a set of cards, or if you feel called to, create your own set of cards or divination tool, and work with them, then this is confirmation that will be a good idea, because I feel like that will help create a more direct channel to who it is that you want to connect with, or receive messages from. If you're not setting clear intentions, you might just pick up on any kind of energy that is around you, or the messages might come a bit mixed, or a lot might come through at once. So it's like, be very mindful to be also very selective of who and what you connect to in the month of August. Yeah, because I see you guys being like this huge antenna that is just picking up on anything and everything that's passing by or that's near. And so intentions will help kind of narrow down things and help make things more clear. But with the Seven of Swords being in reverse, what I got from this card was reconciliation. So if there have been any fallouts or if there have been any disagreements lately, I do see you having important and or open communication with these people that you have had disagreements with, in order to clear the air or just bring closure or finalize things if things need to be finalized. Or, as mentioned, if reconciliation is what you seek, then reconciliation is what you will achieve in the month of August. But the Seven of Swords also makes me think of putting your defenses down, putting your walls down, and being honest with yourself. This card in reverse could simply be speaking about you being honest and open with yourself about your feelings, what you truly feel, what you truly want, what you're truly longing for. Like, it's like no longer hiding from your emotional depth, from your emotions or sensitive nature. Yeah, but these are all the messages I'm getting from these cards. So now I'm going to move into the last segment of this reading. Oh, if there happens to be a full moon in August, actually, yes, there are going to be 2 full moons in August. There's going to be a sturgeon moon and a blue moon. So, because the moon did show up in your spread, if you feel called to do so, you are being advised to work with the full moon energy. Full moons are intended to assist with cleansing, purging, and closing cycles. So if there's anything that you need to release, let go of, especially emotionally, you are being advised to work with the full moon energy in order to do so. This could also be indicating that the days around the full moons is when you're gonna feel the most sensitive to the energy around you, or the most sensitive to your own emotional depth and or realm. And it could also be the time where you're having the most vivid and telling dreams. What I just heard in my mind was psychic experience. I'm not sure what that means, but some of you could be having a psychic experience around the full moons. But the time between the sturgeon moon and the blue moon, something important could be happening. That feels like an important window of time. Also, some of you could be creating a sacred space in your home, or you could be feeling inclined to build an altar, or just create or find a space in which you can do your spiritual practices. Okay, but now I'm going to move into the last segment of this reading. So in this segment, I offer space for you to receive a direct message from any being of light that you wish to hear from at this moment. So this could be a spirit guide, an archangel, a guardian angel, your higher self, an ancestor, a loved one who is on the other side, or the higher self of someone who is currently physically incarnated in this lifetime. Also, if you have a question in mind or something that you want advice and or guidance on, you can keep that in mind and set an intention to receive a message about that if you want to. And we do have 3 options here. So option number 1, we have the pair of seashells. For option number 2, we have the seashell. And for option number 3, we have the conch shell. So if you have more than one being of light that you want to connect with, and or more than one question, that you can assign a different question to each option, or if not, you can cast your gaze upon these options here and see which one calls out to you, because the one that calls out to you will be the one that has a message for you. Okay, so I will give you a moment to set your intentions and to choose. And now I will pull out some written messages from the note jar for those who chose the pair of seashells. So we have, we will meet again. And we also have a quote from the animated series Avatar: The Last Airbender, and this was said by the character Uncle Iroh. While it is best to believe in oneself, a little help from others can be a great blessing. And we have another quote by said person over here. I'm not going to pronounce this name because I'm going to butcher it. And the quote is, "What labels me negates me." And now I will pull out some messages for those who chose the seashell. So get this one. And this one. And this one. Okay. So we have, for every ending, there is a beginning. Yesterdays and tomorrows do not exist in the now, only the present does. And lastly, the seed knows to root first before reaching for the sky. Okay, and now moving on to those who chose the conch shell. You are protected. And be fearless. I feel like there's one more message. This one. Time does not heal the internally wounded. Life does. So live. Okay, so these are all the messages we have for you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading for you, and thank you so much to all of the energies who have come through to help deliver these messages for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. But I am wishing you a wonderful month of August, and until the next moment, bye bye.